Good morning. It's Friday, March 26th, and today is my wife's birthday. But I'm not going to talk about my wife today, and I usually don't talk about members of my family. So in any event, what I want to talk about today is the shooting in Boulder, Colorado. It has come to my attention that particular store, King Soopers, sells an awful lot of kosher goods, and they advertise heavily to the Jewish community in and around Boulder, Colorado, about their kosher delights. And maybe there are not so many things that we would consider delights, but they're nevertheless kosher. If they are offering kosher foods, lots of kosher foods, then it is known as a place where Jews will be present to purchase such food. Now, an investigative journalist, Laura Loomer, has revealed that Ahmad al-Awahi al-Isa, I always have trouble with those Arabian names, is a terrorist, and he's the one who perpetrated the deadly attack on King Soopers. And he has been inspired by ISIS. And so one can draw the rational conclusion that he went into that store and shot it up and killed people because it is kosher friendly and because he was hoping to kill Jews. And I know I come straight out with that. He was hoping to kill Jews. Now, as far as I know, none of the mainstream media outlets mentioned that fact. Or if they mentioned it, it was quickly done in passing. None of them emphasized the fact that King Soopers advertises itself on its website as your one-stop shop for kosher groceries. And this week, Passover comes. And so Jews around the world will be crowding the kosher stores, shopping for groceries and supplies. Now, the shooter, al-Isa, is a Syrian immigrant, came over into this country during Obama's presidency, and has pledged allegiance right before the attack to ISIS. And he had expressed hatred for former President Donald J. Trump because of his anti-Islamic immigration policies. But this wasn't a venting of Islamic fury. This was meant to target Jews preparing for Passover. And there have been many occasions when al-Isa has also expressed his anti-Jewish sentiments. Now, al-Isa had failed some other attempts at terror attacks previously. They never came off. He had planned to attack a Trump rally, which took place in February before the coronavirus struck. And then he decided to wait for the big rally in Denver. He was going to attack in Denver of March last year. However, that rally was canceled because of COVID-19. Al-Isa has a criminal record. He was arrested in 2017 for third-degree assault after he beat another student in his high school class unconscious and continued punching him after he had knocked him out. So, last week, 6 days before the attack, he purchased a Ruger AR-556 pistol, which is designed to operate like a rifle. And he also owned an A-15 assault rifle, which was found on him after the shooting. And the shooting comes 10 days after a judge blocked a ban on assault rifles that had been passed by the city council in Boulder in 2018. And that ban came about after the Parkland shooting in Florida that left 17 people dead. So if anybody was committing a hate crime, al-Isa certainly was doing that. Now, his beliefs present a threat to all Americans, I believe, and I'm not sure how we should be handling this. In the article, The reporter claims that al-Isa carried out the attack in the name of ISIS. But for some reason, this information is being kept under wraps. And I believe it's being kept under wraps because this country is having an anti all kinds of people now. And we don't need people attacking our Islamic citizens like they're attacking our Asian citizens. But the other thing that bothers me about this crime and about many other similar crimes is the general reluctance to call it a hate crime. Why is it so difficult to call something a hate crime when it obviously is? I do not understand it. I do not understand the law associated with it. If you declare it a hate crime, what kind of evidence do you need? Do you need a written declaration? I'm doing this because I hate Jews or I hate Asians? Or do your actions speak louder than words? I don't know. I don't know how the law works in this situation. But what if we declared it a hate crime? Then this person would have to defend that situation in court. He would have to prove that it wasn't a hate crime. That would be just as difficult, perhaps, as proving it is a hate crime. The FBI has defined a hate crime as a criminal offense committed against a person or property which is motivated in whole or in part by the offender's bias against race, religion, disability, ethnic, national origin, or sexual orientation. It probably left a couple of other words out. But you can see that definition leaves a lot to be desired. There's an awful lot of judgment involved in that. So if you don't have a recording of some kind, a voice or a cell phone picture or something, then it would be very difficult to prove that the individual who committed the crime was actually executing a hate crime. Did you know that this is now a hate symbol? But on the other hand, if you declare it a hate crime, then I'm assuming that the perpetrator has to defend that position, and he may not be able to defend the position. So I think, hate crimes are very difficult things to deal with. But we had better learn how to do that. We had better figure out a way to recognize the hate that's running loose in this country. In any event, this is not a subject that I'm happy that I'm continually ranting about. So I will leave you for today, and I will see you in the morning. Bye.